something we should have seen coming, or really just underwhelming. They finally got the transfer strategy wrong for once. The manager search begins now. Who's the manager for going forward next season? Because it's a big season to come for the club. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Players Zone YouTube channel, and welcome to our Brighton season recap. A very interesting teams recap. A season that always seemed to just go under the radar. They felt like they were bouncing around 9th, 8th, 10th for a bit after a fantastic start of the season, and they ended up dropping right off coming into the season, bottom half finish. But I guess is there something you should have expected over time? They cannot continue to keep overachieving and exceeding expectations. We sort of had them around the 8th and 9th spot. A lot of people predicted that was sort of where they'll be going. Obviously this season in the Europa League, balancing European football, and it just felt like it should have been inevitable. We should have seen this coming. Eventually they wouldn't have a great season. It's not like a bad season, not a horrible end of the season, but the football they played, the transfers they got in, it just didn't go right this year. A lot of things went wrong. Some injuries to Solly March doesn't help either. And Stupinian out for large periods of the season. Evan Ferguson not quite living up to the expectations. And I guess you lose your whole core. Alexis McAllister's gone. Robert Sanchez has gone. You lose your figureheads, your side. Marco Corella gone as well. Levi Colwill gone. So obviously it makes sense. But I just felt like Brighton in the last few years, they keep finding a way to bounce back. They keep making the right choices, both on the pitch and off the pitch. But it finally felt like this season they took a step back. And now with Roberto De Zerbi leaving the club, there's a massive hole there. The manager role, a lot of players to be decided their futures. Obviously Lallana's going. Do you keep Danny Welbeck back at the club? What do you do with the young core? It's a lot going on at the club. They need a lot of things fixed up going to next season. Otherwise, you could be in danger of dropping even further down the Premier League table. With a lot of teams in that sort of 10th to 15th looking to bounce up into the top half, they might be a team slipping down to the bottom sort of third of the table. So very important they get things right this summer. Looking at their season record, it's a 12 win, 12 draw, and 14 loss season. Again, they bounce around that sort of 8th, 9th spot for a lot of the season. They end up finishing 11th on 48 points. So not the end of the world, but where we had them expected to be around the 8th spot, a bit underwhelming. Best signing of the season had to be João Pedro for me, the 34.2 million euro signing. Again, a lot of pressure, him coming to Premier League. Could he perform? And I think he did that to a relatively solid extent there. 9 goals, 3 assists, 31 Premier League appearances. Didn't miss a Premier League penalty until right toward the end of the season. I think a really solid option for them. Again, their strikers didn't have the best of luck this season between Pedro, Evan Ferguson. It was almost Danny Welbeck who was the best leader of the line. But again, the supply wasn't there, so he couldn't really do much from up front. But I feel like we saw signs of him solid enough when he had the opportunities in the area, a good penalty taker, and I feel like he was the only real player that flourished this season for Brighton. And I feel like we've definitely got a future there for João Pedro, whether it be on the left or down the middle. He's definitely someone with that pace, direct running, that could produce something. Again, the final product's not quite there for him. He hasn't quite got the build-up play and hold-up play, but he's had some massive moments for the club this season, and he's definitely a solid player. It's a raw talent, but if they can develop it in the right way, if you can get more chances fed to him, wouldn't be surprised to see him produce some more goals come next season. The worst signing's pretty easy. The loan of Ansu Fati's just gone down in flames. For the player himself, for the club, Roberto De Zerbi coming up saying he's too lazy, doesn't work hard enough. Ansu Fati labelled as the next Messi has just fallen off. Come to Brighton, I thought it was a great chance for the club to continue to push up the table, potentially get Europa League football qualified through the league again, and Ansu Fati would be pivotal in their Europa League run this season, but it's been far from that. Struggled. Only the 19 Premier League appearances, a lot off the bench. Yeah, labelled by managers not good enough. You've seen the likes of the Karim Matomas who were out injured for a lot of the season, and he still wasn't getting a chance to be playing. You look at Adingra playing a lot of football, João Pedro playing on the left just to keep him out of the side. It didn't go down well. Really poor season for him, and looks like he'll be going to another club again next season because no way Barcelona takes him back with the performances he's put out this season. So not only lost for Brighton, but lost for Ansu Fati's career as well. It seems to keep going down the drain a little bit. Moment of the season, I touched on him earlier, João Pedro's 88th minute winner. Again, not in the Premier League, but in the Europa League to secure them top of the group versus Marseille. Big top of the group battle there. 88th minute winner. So limbs at the Amex there. And such an exciting start of the season with what they were doing in Europa League. Unfortunately, who they drew in the end in Roma, who were in some great form, but a really exciting Europa League run this season. It's something for the fans to be excited about. But again, you go back to the drawing board now, and it was really hard to find a real memorable moment for the Premier League season because they really didn't have many exciting moments. And I think That was sort of a theme of their season. Really, a lot. I said in the prediction video, a lot of side to side, a lot of boring, slow football, a lack of real pace and precision in the final third, and not a real willingness to push numbers on and get creative and get pushing forward. A lot of 55 to 60% possession, but a lot of it across the back line. So a lot of things to improve on next season. Maybe a different style of football as well if a new manager comes in with a new philosophy. But it's sort of a theme they're seeing. There wasn't many memorable moments because there wasn't much attacking football being played by Brighton this year. The breakout player had to be Simon Ndingra. What a player. 7 goals, 3 assists in all competitions. In CISO struggled to be on the park. Bonanotte wasn't inconsistent when he was put on the pitch. Not on the pitch for long enough as well for me. I think he'd be a key part to look out for next season. But someone who wasn't for the pitch for a lot of the season was Simon Ndingra. Decent AFCON as well, being a part of a very successful side there, but came to Brighton really unknown. Another one of those bright unknown talents, and was fantastic this season. Scoring goals, direct runner in that Karu Matoma mould where it's very hard to stop once he gets his head down and he gets that pace up. Good luck trying to stop him. You have to either foul him or hope he makes a mistake. Good drop of the shoulder. And when he gets into a shooting position, he is very dangerous, very powerful shot. So someone in that very Brighton mould where their wingers are very dynamic, can get into powerful spots. And I think someone to definitely keep an eye on next season. He could take that next step up into that Matoma mould. It's very similar the way they play their football. So very excited to see what he can do next season. And just a really raw talent that's, I think, excelled much more than we would have thought. He's got that real end product in his game already. If he can sharpen up his clinical edge in the final third as well, we're looking at a player who can score 10 to 15 goals next season and be a pivotal figure, and really important. If he can produce next season, Brighton can keep himself amongst that mid-table group, especially with some of those teams from below having a lot of those real dangerous final third type players. So he'll be pivotal for the next season. Definitely a breakout player for us and for Brighton this season. And then coming to the player of the season, pretty much a slam dunk. Pascal Gross, there throughout the season. Didn't quite play all over the park he has in the past, but very important to centre the park there. Leader of the side, an experienced head. 4 goals, 10 assists, averaging a 7.55 SOFA score match rating. Always important to this side. Linking up the player midfield, crucial in winning the ball back for his side and getting them going forward. Always, they want him on the ball as much as possible. When you got likes of Billy Gilmore in there, Bonanotte and CISO, the other younger players, they defer to Pascal Gross. And his quality on the ball is second to none. Ability to make a pass, find a pass, is next level. He's head and shoulders above some of the talent right now at Brighton, and I think it shows. If it wasn't for his age, he might be off for another big club move, and I wouldn't be surprised if someone in Italy looks for him because he's a very dangerous player in midfield areas. He's a versatile player, can play all over the park. Some of that sort of just goes under the radar because he's being so good. Again, amongst the top assisters with the 10 assists, continues to show why he's one of the best players in this Brighton side. And yet again, will be pivotal to build around next season. He's got the legs. He continues to be a pivotal figure, seems to keep himself fit for large periods of the season, and has got that IQ and got that ability to make a difference for Brighton. When they're firing, when they're pushing numbers forward, when they're playing with a bit more progressive style of mindset and style of football, he's awesome to play from that deep line position, to play make from that deep lying spot. So another fabulous season for him. 14 goal contribution to the side that really didn't attack too much this season. Goes to show his importance to this side here. Coming to the priorities for next season, which is going to be very important. Quickly finding an appointment and a manager replacement for Roberto De Zerbi. I hope, and knowing Brighton, they should have someone already in line, but with the manager volatility of the market this summer, with managers moving all over the place, managers stepping down, movements left, right and centre, you've got to find someone early, especially for the Euros. It'd be ideal to get some before the Euros to get to the club and assess what they want to do with the players, who they want to bring in, who they want to keep, who they want to sell, implement their style of football, learn what the club's all about. Because as I kept saying on the podcast, if you're getting managers in during or after Euros, you're just playing catch up. It's going to be so important across the next 2 to 3 weeks before everyone goes to camps and before we really get in the swing of Euros football to get a new manager in and get them implemented and acclimated to the club. So very important you find a replacement for De Zerbi, and especially considering what Potter's done, De Zerbi's done. It's a lot of pressure on this new manager to get to the club and hit the ground running because they've both produced at such a high level. Secondly, to add midfield depth. As I said, Billy Gilmore, he was right last season, not that great this season, and so more of a progressive player, Bonanotte more progressive player. You're looking for someone to join in midfield alongside Pascal Gross, a real Alexis McAllister mould, someone that can play in a double pivot, someone who can drop in at times, can play and make from deep line positions, can allow Pascal Gross a bit more freedom to go forward and create, again, the 10 assists from a deep position. Imagine if you played more in a number 8 role, it would just be fantastic for the side. So if you can find someone a bit better than Baleba. I like what Baleba's done, but not quite there yet for the X factor or the quality needed for the Premier League. If you can find a real solid holding midfielder to play in this side, if you can add a like of a Lewis Ferguson, Emile Smith-Rowe in a more progressive region as well, I'd love a sign. I think Lewis Ferguson would fit this club so well going forward. Again, a 24-year-old Scottish player, fantastic in the Serie A midfielder of the year. Bring him across. Bring Emile Smith-Rowe across, really talented number 10 as well, or we can play him out on the right flank. Bring these sort of players across that have got that real next level talent to bring this side, because it's good, all good having these young players, but you need some leaders, some real already established players to build around as well. So I think add some midfield quality, add some midfield depth as well. And then the third one is to keep the defence fit. A lot of players injured. Eagle and Dunk were the only ones really available for most of the season. When Webster and Van Hecker came back, you saw the difference it made to this defence. They like to play the three or four centre-backs and rotate them around in versatile positions, similar to Manchester City. But with how the new manager might come in and play a different system, it'll be interesting to see how they go about that. So I want to see how they implement a new system, but importantly, keep the defenders fit so you can play different system and can have more rotation this side, because it felt like Dunk and Eagle were just stuck there all season. They were in and out of form at times. They looked fatigued, but they couldn't have any rotation because a lot of the defenders, like the Websters, like the Van Heckers, were either unfit, not ready, injured. It just was a bit all over the place. So make sure the defenders are all fit, even in Stupinian missing large parts of the season as well. Keep the defenders fit so you've actually got a back four, a group of 7 defenders to rotate through and pick on form rather than just availability next season. That brings my season grade. It's a C-. It's not the end of the world. It just feels like it is because we have such high expectations for Brighton. But again, they haven't really underperformed by that much. They finished 11th, not too far from a top half finish. It just felt like they haven't hit the nail on the head with their signings. The performance on the pitch was just a bit subpar, and it wasn't an exciting style of football we're used to with Brighton. So a few things to fix up. Yeah, massive summer in terms of bringing a few more players in, with Alana dropping out, James Milner being past that. Needing maybe a new back four in terms of how the new manager might play their style of football, and important the manager gets their signings in that they want. We know Brighton are very good at finding young talent, to try and find some more. You got Barco can come and develop next season. Interesting if Stupinian becomes a number 1 option. How does Bonanotte and Cisse fit in this new system? Does Evan Ferguson refine that form and elevate himself? Does Baleba fit in this new system? How does Simon Adingra and Karamatoma fit? It's very interesting to see how they all play, and do they play a more counter-attacking style of football, which I think might suit this team a little bit better with the younger players and the more pacey younger players they've got in this system. So many questions to have, but I think all in all for this season for Roberto De Zerbi, a C- for them this season. Again, not so awful. It just feels like we have such high expectation for Brighton. But like next season they'll come back and bounce back. I definitely believe that. This club is just a factory for success and overachieving. So I'm assuming they'll be back next season. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. How have you seen Brighton season? Does it feel like a disappointment to you as well, like it does to me? When you look at it objectively, do you think it's been an okay season? Let me know in the comment section down below. Smash a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the Players Zone channel if you enjoyed this type of content. Press that post notification bell so you know we upload our podcast, more reaction videos, analytical videos like these. And with more content coming for the Euros and Copa America, definitely press that post notification bell so you know when all the content is released. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of the upcoming football content to come. And I'll see you guys in another video very, very soon. Till next time, guys. See you later.